Need to do some pontoon fence repair, in specific the gate. But what I'm going to show will also apply to the general fence on a pontoon if the metal gets damaged. Last weekend we caught a rogue wave with our pontoon, and front gate, which I have here, nice and clear. Well, there's a reason for that. It blew out the sheet metal on the front, and I'm going to show how to fix that coming up. Hi, I'm Roger. Welcome to the shop. What I'm going to be doing here is some pontoon fence repair, specifically on this gate right here. As you saw in a little bit of the intro there, that hit a rogue wave last weekend. Looked a little bit like this. And did damage that looked like this. So what I've done is I've taken the gate off, a matter of just drilling out some rivets on the side there, the hinge. And I brought it home. It's a lot easier to work on this in the shop than it is up at camp. I have taken the metal that came out, it's here, and I have straightened it out somewhat, but it's not perfectly flat yet. I guess I could go get the wife's rolling pin and really make it neat, but I don't think she'd like that. So what I'm going to actually be doing is replacing this metal with some other metal, which I'll show here shortly, because the graphics on this are getting pretty tired. So it's time to do a little something else, and I'll never get all these little creases out and everything. I've got some ideas to use my die cutter and cut some new vinyl and put a little palm tree on here and a couple other little things. This right now is gray. I'm going to be using a piece of white metal. It's aluminum, it's the same gauge, and it is actually a piece left over from when we redid the walls in the pontoon boat from the head area. That's the bathroom if you're not nautical. So I'm going to get the camera zoomed down here and I'll show you exactly how we prep this. And this will apply to whether you're doing just a gate or you're actually doing a fence. So what you see here, I've got laying in front of me is a gate, and I have a very, very stiff, wide knife. And what I'm going to be doing with this, as you look at the aluminum here, you can see that there are little flanges that were made at the factory. And they run up the side, they go all the way around. What I need to do is open up the top and the bottom one enough to allow me to take my new piece of metal and get it in here kind of sprung a little bit so I can spring it into the sides. One of the things you may run into, and I've done this before and had it happen, is when you do pull and pry this up, you want to do it gently, like this, is it'll break off. And if that happens, you'll have to pop rivet your new metal back on. You want to be gentle, do a little bit at a time, so as not to crimp or crease or make it overly crooked. And you don't want to pull it all the way up because you'll definitely break it off then. I can hear that's getting a little crunchy down there. It's important to use something very, very stiff and wide so that you're not distorting the metal too much. Okay, and then on the side you'll see you have the same type of thing, and this is all distorted here from when it blew that panel out. I'm going to open this up a little bit just to make it easier to get that piece of metal sprung in there. And since this did not go, the metal did not go all the way up, this flange continues all the way around the gate here, but it is pretty much smashed flat from the factory up here because you don't need that part of it opened up. You definitely want to be gentle with this. If you're doing a long fence section, I wouldn't try doing it on the boat. I would take the fence off so you could lay it flat on some sawhorses or on a bench. Okay, got that all opened up. Now my next step will be to measure and cut some metal. One of the things I'm going to need to do here is to use the flattest area, which is going to be right here for the height. Measure this, which is 13.5. And I write this stuff down because my memory isn't as good as it used to be. And I've got it flattened out pretty good right across the center here, as flat as I can get it. I'm going to measure this in a couple spots. We'll go up here. It's 23.75 to 23.75. Well, at least it's square. That's 23.75. Now I just need to get the metal up here and get it laid out and do some cutting. So here it is. And I bet you thought I was going to use tin snips, didn't you? No. Well, a good investment. These electric sheet metal cutters, these things are great. This happens to be an Ironton brand. It's from Northern Tool. It's not real high-end, but I don't use it all the time. But when I need it, and it works well. So now I need to make my graphics, and I think I'll put the graphics on here before I put it in the fence. Okay, a little bit of a change of plan. I was going to do the graphics first. I thought, maybe I ought to give this thing a little bit of a trial fit. And because this is such a small area, you don't have a whole lot of flexibility of what you can bend and buckle and kind of work into place, sort of. So what I ended up having to do was open these up some more. I've had to open up the bottom one all the way, and I know that's going to break off when I close it, so I'll end up having to pop rivet the bottom back on. But I will add my graphics afterwards. I have the side you see facing up here faces the inside of what they call the playpen on the boat, and the other side faces the front. That's where it got caved in from. Perhaps putting the pop rivets in there will keep that from happening again. But at any rate, got my piece of metal here, and there's a plastic coating on, I should say a plastic film on each side of this, which I will peel off after I get everything in. But we'll get this guy kind of worked in here, I hope. I don't want to put a crimp or a bend in this, but I need to find a good way to get it worked down in there. Well, maybe we'll do that, but start further up. Just like that. Now it's a matter of bending these back down. Like I say, I know this bottom one here is going to break off when I do this, but I will pop rivet that back on. Okay, now to flatten these back down, you don't want to just take a hammer and start beating on it. You need to make it even as you go across, and the best way to do that is with like a dead blow hammer. Remember I said that bottom was going to come off? It did. Popped right off. Hopefully the top won't break off when I push it back down. Be gentle here. Yeah, it too is breaking off, so I'll be pop riveting that. If I would have known these are both going to break off, I would have just taken them off in the first place and made this whole thing a lot easier. So we'll get some clamps, some pop rivets, a drill bit, and we'll get this thing mounted. So, got some clamps on here, and got this kind of where it goes. I'm going to have to do a little bit of fudging here with it. The strips are not completely flat, but 1/8 inch drill bit, 1/8 inch rivets, aluminum rivets, not steel, because those would rust. Yeah, I've got an air riveter. I do have a hand riveter, but this is so much easier. So I'll just work my way along here, pulling this down where it needs to be. In fact, I may move my clamp over here a little bit. Actually put one on the corner, put down here and get this to pull down where it's supposed to be. Yeah, I didn't go into any details on how I made these graphics. It was done with a Cricut die cutter. And if you are interested in how I did it and how I make them, eyeball this here good. Leave something in the comments below. Maybe I'll make some videos on making outdoor vinyl. Yeah, I'll do something on making some outdoor vinyl projects and get this burnished on here, and I'll show you the rest of it. There's a lot of videos out there on how to do vinyl using a Cricut die cutter or one of the other brands. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Cricut. But, so there's the side that faces the playpen, that's inside the boat. And I might make something to put on that. But this is what will be facing the front of the boat, which is a great improvement from what was there. Some beach, somewhere. Yeah, that's a song lyric. And can't get me for copyright because I'm not selling this. This is going on my boat. So, that's how you repair a fence. In this case, it was a gate. I think a fence, I would have had a little bit better luck with these aluminum strips not breaking off because I would have a long area to work with to bow that metal into, but because this was so small and so tight, and this is a little bit heavier gauge aluminum than what I took out of there. So, this is what we have. So if you got anything out of this, appreciate getting a thumbs up. Always helps the algorithm in the channel. Of course, always looking for subscribers. Next to that subscribe button is a little bell. You ring that bell, you'll be notified when I post another video. Otherwise, I'm Roger in the shop, fixing a pontoon fence gate. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.